I'm not a doctor. I'm not here to tell you what you should do when you feel terrible, because I went to the hospital. I felt like I was dying. But regarding the panic attack is probably the same thing you can learn about the panic attack is what you can learn about, if you're afraid to die. You can't do anything about it. And the more I had panic attacks, the easier they became when I didn't try to catch my breath, or when I wasn't trying to fix it, when I was just trying to be there, as present as I could be, as difficult as it might be when you feel like you can't breathe. It's a lot easier just to, go with the river, because if you're trying to go against it, you're going to get destroyed, and it's exhausting. It really is. So that was my first panic attack, along with the first major one I had. And like I said, I've had many others, and I think part of me was chasing them at one point because I felt like there was something that I could learn there. In that moment of fight or flight or freeze, or in that moment of fear, of just extreme awareness, I felt like there was something there that I could find. And I did. So I guess I could just go into the story about Central Park. So, now fast forward a couple of years, I'm getting edibles from professionals legally. So I take like 12 milligrams, something my friends would consider, nothing. They take like 300 or 1,000, but for me, 12 was more than enough. So I go to New York, I go to the museum, I enjoy it. I go to Central Park, and that's when I'm starting to have a major panic attack again. Similar symptoms, can't breathe. Things get a little hazy, feel like I'm gonna faint. And I'm walking in Central Park, and there are thoughts, as one does. One has thoughts, and one of the thoughts was, okay, I've seeing objectively that thought produces the illusion of a thinker, and what that means. And there I felt like I was standing on the edge of a cliff, where I could see clearly for the first time that there is no thinker, there is no soul. That's an illusion of thought. There's no center. And okay, so clearly seeing that for the first time, then the next thought for me was, well, that's terrifying, because then I'm nothing. Then this whole thing that, has been created in my mind is really nothing. There's nothing there. And that terrified me. So I felt like I took a step back mentally, and I just felt like, no, I can't, because I felt like if I completely saw that truth, if that truth was completely accepted and became one with this organism, then I would go into oblivion. That's what it felt like. It felt like if that's the case, then the whole mind just would unravel and would just go into darkness, chaos. I don't know, into like a dark hole or something. So I would say, and also, in those times of panic, in those times where you fear that death is coming, then you really start to evaluate how you are behaving around you, the way you treat people, what you're doing with your life. And it's just very strange. It's a very strange thing how powerful the mind can be. So I hope anybody who has a panic attack can get something out of this. That's it.